A lot of people think you need an M5 MacBook Pro or a $5,000 MacBook Pro in order for you to start graphic design. But is that even true? Sometimes they even limit themselves in the right of calling themselves graphic designers just because they do not have a 32 gigs of RAM computer. So I picked up this HP ProBook 635 Aero G7. It's a business laptop, not even a creative one, and I wanted to find out if that laptop can actually hold its own right of doing the high-end activities that some people call, of which includes graphic design, video editing. So I'm going to tell you why this matters. Here's the thing. This idea that you need a high-end hardware to start designing stops a lot of people before they even begin. Yeah, that's true. If you're one in a place like Arusha or anywhere where a MacBook Pro costs more than a semester of school tuition fees, that mindset is expensive and honestly discouraging. So most of the people fails to do whatever they want to do for that. So before you save up for 3 years for a proper machine, I wanted to test what a budget business laptop can actually do, because the software you use matters just as much as the machine you use it on. So this is the HP ProBook device that I'm going to put into test today. So let's talk a little bit of what's inside this. But before, hi, I'm Ramad and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a little bit of a different video whereby we'll be testing this device. So this device runs an AMD Ryzen 5 and a 6-core processor with boost speeds up to 4 GHz. That's solid for a laptop in this price range because it was very cheap. I'll tell you the price later. It's got 8 gigs of DDR4 RAM, not huge but enough to say yes, it can do a real work. And yes, it can be upgraded later if you need more headroom. Storage wise, it's a 256 gig SSD, so everything loads fast, no waiting around for files to open. The screen is a 13.3 inch full HD 1080p display, sharp enough for detail work. On the negative side, it's very small if you're doing design. Yeah, so for myself, I mix it with a Samsung monitor. And here's the big one. It does not have a dedicated graphics card. It's running integrated AMD Radeon graphics, meaning the CPU is doing most of the heavy lifting. This is the spec that's going to matter most in this video, so keep that in mind as we go through the software. So speaking of the software, now let's actually put it into work. In Photoshop, this is where design work lives or dies for a lot of people. So Photoshop leans on CPU and RAM more than GPU for most editing tasks like layering, retouching, filters, and etc. I loaded a file with over 20 layers and ran some filters to see how it holds up in real time. So you can see for yourself. On Illustrator is a vector-based work. Illustrator does the vector-based work. So it's actually lighter on hardware than people expect. Gradients, paths, effects, Illustrator is mostly CPU driven too, which plays to this laptop's strengths. So speaking of Figma, since it runs in the browser, Figma depends a lot on RAM. When you've got multiple frames and prototypes open, this is where 8 gigs can start to feel tight if you're multitasking harder. So Canva is browser based and lightweight by design. This one's less about raw power and more about how many tabs you've got open at once. So speaking of the performance of this laptop does a very good job because you can get it in 8 GB of RAM. For me, this is 16 GB of RAM. There is also a 32 GB of RAM. So it can be upgraded, but then that's upon you. But for the initial device, this is what you get. So answering the question that if this computer is a good device or a starting point for those who do not have a lot of money to buy the high-end device. So it can do the work, I might say, or I need to say. This device does the job very well. But then if you, like, for example, in Photoshop, if you want, let's say, to change a shape into a 3D object and start to render the shape, bro, these fans will cry and cry and cry, brother. So you need to, like, for if you are doing the simple tasks, it does not have any problem. It does the job smoothly as long as the storage, you have enough storage, because the disks sometimes disturbs a lot, since, like, if it gives you the message that there is not enough space on the disk. Yeah, so you need to make sure that you have enough storage on the device in order for Photoshop to run well. For Illustrator, I have not had any problems with the device, but then it's a very good device. It's very light. Yeah, very light compared to many other devices. So this is it for today. See you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe on my channel because more videos are coming up. Peace.